League. With like Gypsy and Vibe
yeah.
and all those really lame ass characters.
I've studied it, and the thing is, I don't think the people playing know comic book lore that well. So to them, all this is new.
Right.
So I've started the roll here.
All right. So I got to quickly shift gears.
Yeah, we got any questions about or Farengar?
Farengar.
Have we got any questions about where we are? Because we left 9, or no, we left 7 in the. Is it 7? Yeah, there's 7 in the ship. Along.
We are fully live.
Oh, we are fully live. Oh, hi everybody. Fully live. We're going back to starting in a minute. Hi.
Well, welcome to the Architects of Fate streaming extravaganza. That's right, you found the self-proclaimed original Twitch TTRPG stream that lets you shake up our world. Now pay attention, because this is how it works. If you'd like to add some loops to this roller coaster ride of a show, you're gonna need fate chips. Now these magical loyalty points can be earned just by watching, following, hosting, subscribing, or just engaging with us in the chat. It's like free money, people. With your fate chips, you can use your powers as an architect to heal your favorite players, summon items that will make their adventure a lot easier, or a lot harder. You can even make players say or sing outrageously silly things. Think of those possibilities. But wait, there is more. You can also toss our unsuspecting heroes into random encounters that will leave them sweating, strategizing, and questioning their life choices. All it takes is a quick redeem command in the chat. You choose the item or action and the player you want to mess with, and we'll take it from there. So sit back, relax, and prepare yourselves for a mind-blowing spectacle of storytelling and mayhem. We've got adventure, we've got drama, and more surprises than a clown car at a kid's birthday party. So let's go!
Hey, welcome all you Architects of Fate. This is Star Trek Adventures back in business after our false start. And tonight we're going to enjoy the world of Star Trek, but from the point of view of the Ferengi. And if you don't understand any of this stuff, well, I don't know why you're here watching a show about Star Trek. But what you're going to do is we're going to call them criminals. You can call them rude. You can call them greedy, but never, ever underestimate them. Because the galaxy right now is putting itself together after the horrors of the Dominion War, and old empires are falling and new ones are rising. The once stable galaxy is now facing an uncertain future, and I keep reading down here, but that's okay, deal. The 1,000-year-old, who have I got? Jam of the Great Barrier, also lurking with my headphones. Oh, okay. Thanks, Ben. Let me see. The 1,000-year-old Ferengi Alliance is undergoing seismic shifts with the ascension of Grand Nagus Rom. The old ways of rampant greed and misogyny are giving new ways of shared ambition and open new markets, and only light misogyny. But it also is against men and women, so it's all balances out. Harassment's still a thing in the alliance. These changes have impacted all Ferengi, rich and poor. And we're going to look in on a merry little band of profiteers and their acquaintances as we plunge into Star Trek back in business. And this night's episode is, tonight's episode, and I'm going to just put this up on the show map field. Tonight's episode is Latinum Lasts Longer Than Lust, the 229th rule of acquisition. Everyone has landed on a planet that has changed its name 2 or 3 times. And the crew seems to have been expected, but also not expected. And everyone seems pretty relaxed considering there's some kind of a biological catastrophe that they were warned about in orbit. So either way, there's some Airbnb hosts that have come down to greet them, and they are expecting very different things from Goreth and Dravok. And so what we'll do is we'll pick up and say, could you guys go around and introduce yourselves, starting with Chelapuck?
Yeah, so I'm playing Goreth, and he's a Danubian engineer, and this episode's tour guide. And I'll also be playing Lyra, who's a Bajoran, and he's actually one of Goreth's wives.
Okay. Dave.
Well, howdy there. I'm Cash Dash. I'm the captain of this here ship. I purchased it at an exorbitant rate of interest, and so we're wandering around the quadrants trying to make deals and make a little Latinum along the way.
Yeah, the real profit was the Latinum he made along the way. And then Supercam.
Hey everybody, I'm Cameron, and I am playing Dravok Fex, a bodybuilding Ferengi who is also a pusher of the 24th century equivalent to steroids. And he has a follower / partner from the Orion Syndicate named Noit. And he kind of helps smooth over some of the bumps between the Ferengi way of doing business and the Orion way of doing business.
Okay. And so what we're going to do is start out pretty much where we left off, space roids. Which is funny that, considering how Star Trek has all these weird drugs that can do lots of things, but they're not like these. You're going to have to figure out how to differentiate them from shit you can get from the replicator.
Exactly.
There's
nothing like the real thing.
You should actually trademark that and put that on the bottles. That would be funny. So what I want to do is move this up a little and then tilt that down. When we left, Alden Zarin, the Cardassian owner of the B&B, Hallback Haven, is kind of hitting on Dravok, and it's kind of pissing off Bryce, his bud, and his spouse or partner. And Bryce, however, has become very enamored with Goreth because he's the Goreth with the musical abilities. So I don't know what you guys want to do next. We've left a few people in the ship, a few of them under guard, a few of them unconscious. So what would you guys like to do as this is all happening? As Alden and Bryce are trying their best to be hosts, but they're kind of fumbling through it.
Goreth wants to kind of side up next to Bryce and get some planetary information. You know, since he's the tour guide, I might as well try and learn something.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah. Well, here, let me. Should we go somewhere else so we don't ruin the illusion?
So I
Hey. Oh, is Mr. Goliathman in the chat? I hope.
Make something.
Yep, there we go. Yeah, shall we go somewhere else so that we don't ruin the illusion? We can go inside or out into the garden.
Let's go in the garden.
I'm gonna find a tree.
I'll have a nice.
Let me see if I can find the tree. If I put any of my stuff here. Again, take that. Okay.
Hey, sweetheart, there is leftover rice. Noodles. Sorry.
Okay, so conveniently 2 trees show up. Just over here. Just a little off over here. So yeah, Bryce is all right. Oh yeah, well I know that it's unusual that we accept prepayment. What? Oh, sorry. Do you want me to throw it to somebody else while you sort something out?
Oh, I lost you guys.
Are we still lost?
We got you.
Are we lost?
There we go.
Okay.
Okay. No,
This is
I'm
like that
back.
time at Kmart when I let go of my mom's hand. I know how scary that can be. And also it ages me by that very reference. Had a mother. That was a challenge. That was new. Okay, so we've got Bryce is taking you back, go by the tree. It's really nice that you were able to we're working on a little short notice here because we normally have these things arranged a few months lead time, but we're working through it, and thank you for agreeing to the additional 10% bonus, 10% upcharge for the lateness of this arrangement.
Yeah, keep that kind of on the down low with our captain.
Oh, you would be surprised at how many things are on the download around in this bed and breakfast.
All right, well that's good. So, can you give me a little history of this area, this planet?
Well, yes, we have a biological plague all ready to go, and it's infecting the crops, and sometimes it will infect an animal, or we're not sure. Our scientists were baffled, and then they left to get more information in the hills, and they've not returned.
But what crops has it affected? Because I think that when we were coming in, we were noticing lots of trees with fruit and things on it, weren't we? So what kind of crops is this
it
biological?
infects all of the crops. It creates a weird toxin that just causes weirdness and unusual energies.
Unusual energies.
And you can do you want to make any kind of an insight roll to see just how jammed up this poor guy is?
Yeah. Let's see how
Let me
jammed
see.
up he is.
Okay. This is going to be like an insight and probably either command or security. It's up to you. And if you have anything in the way of performing or, studying people who have acted, I think all these things are, I think we've established that you guys are getting some ideas here. Oh, thanks for the giving everybody fate chips, Atlas. I was most remiss.
I don't
Piece of shit. What?
I don't have any like theater kind of things, but so I'll do.
Do you have a performance focus
insight,
or anything? You have a performance focus.
Command. Yeah, I have a performance focus.
That's good. Yeah, anything that would allow you to evaluate someone's attempt to present or show
their
stage presence. And I believe Cash Dash in the past has used. He spotted. He knows an intern trying to bluff their way through a presentation when he sees one.
Right.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. So I have a total of 15.
Holy cats. Okay, well, you only needed a 1, so that's good.
Right.
So you can use more of that on a moment. You can keep that momentum for a question momentum if you want. So you do get the impression that that's as much as he understands what's going on in terms of the science. Like he has no more scientific information.
He has no science. Yeah. He's all about
he's all about bed and breakfast. He can talk about the fruits but yeah, you definitely. But he's also like distracted because he's trying to keep an eye on Alden, who's getting kind of handsy with Dvorak again. But that's
yeah. So I can tell he's distracted.
Do you have any other questions about any deeper knowledge of him, or?
So where do you get your foodstuffs to avoid, being affected by the plague?
Oh well, we again, as you know, we can't have replicators or any other high tech, high energy systems because that gives us. I hope no one's upset that I'm just doing Lisp. Tough rocks, people. But the systems are we do have a set of rations, and those are running quite low. So we really need to have this mystery solved.
Okay. Well, I'd like to really go visit one of these. Is there like farms nearby that are affected by there's plague?
Farms. There's the agricultural. And he also like. All right, let me see. I'm gonna roll some dice, see what happens. Watch your screen because if this works, it's gonna be very impressive. Yes.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Well,
Yeah, his
pretty
roll
nifty.
wasn't, but he was. It was kind of cool. It doesn't roll single.
How'd you do
doesn't
that
do
magical
singles,
thing?
which sucks. It's a website that has an overlay of a web overlay. So I just put it up as a web
Nice.
page and then blocked out its background.
It's pretty great.
I like it.
Nice.
It does
That's
do totals
cool.
and stuff, but because Star Trek does goofy dice, you can't use. It has a running total system and it can do complex meta macros, but it doesn't add the Star Trek dice the way they should work. So we're just gonna do it like throw them on the table, and also it makes me sad that I didn't have. I'm not paying for the extra cool dice. But either way, what I wanted, okay, he's gonna start getting more genuine. He's going to say, well, I mean, you're going to have to decide for your group. I mean, well, I'm sure that the guild talked to you about all of this, but we have, as you know, we have a tour of the agricultural facility for processing, and we also have a tour of the orchards. Because you guys arrived a little early, I'm going to need to, we have to do some setup. So, it may be a few hours. You may just have lunch here. And that'll give us a chance to go with the whole food pack thing.
That sounds like a great plan.
Yeah.
I like that plan.
So if you want to give me, do you know where you want to take your party first?
Well, I think I want to take them to the food processing.
Okay. He. Let me see. He does tap a. If I can find it, because I really want to use my sound effects. He does contact, and he says, "Yes, the guests will be going to the factory." And all you hear is a muffled "acknowledged," and then that's it.
Okay. Right, that's not cool.
So that's where that is. Will there be anything else that I can help you with, or again, we really need to get Dvorak under control because we can't have illicit substances being put out here.
I don't know that they're illicit. I mean, they're health enhancements.
And also,
So-
I'm going to let you know that our medical staff is not back from vacation yet. Normally, we would have medical staff on standby, so I would really advise you to kind of curb your group's more. What is it called? Curb any more adventurous impulses on your group, and also we will be doing the standard weapon scan. To make sure that no one does bring in an energy weapon,
Okay.
But don't worry, there will be objects supplied which do meet with standards.
That sounds perfect.
Okay.
Okay. So we have that set up. We'll do that to her, and for right now, we're just gonna relax and.
Meanwhile, Alden, I'm going to switch over to Alden. Alden is like watching. He's oblivious to the fact that Bryce has left. So he is now deep into the question about muscles. And
Yeah. But as you can see, they get very big very quickly with this substance. It is a type of steroid, but it's all natural. There's nothing fake about it. It's not made in replicators like some of the other pumping iron type enhancements that you get at places that claim they're all natural, but they really are not. They're using replicators. And this one is truly all natural. And unfortunately, it does have some different effects depending on what planet your origin is from. So like for me, I'm a Ferengi. If you notice, my lobes are a little bit small compared to most Ferengis. That's because mine shrank after I started taking this. My muscles got big, my lobes got smaller. On humans, a different thing gets smaller, but it's kind of the same type of thing that the lobes do for Ferengis. So I don't know, maybe a Cardassian like you, maybe your forehead spoon might flatten out a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what. I've never sold any to a Cardassian before. But if you're interested, it's very good for pumping up.
Probably a presence because this is a talking thing. And then either.
Okay, I do have a focus in
probably
fast talk.
And then it's presence in either command, depending on how you want to approach it. Command or security. Command is like neg dip. Security is more interrogation, so I don't know if that's necessarily what you want to do.
Well, my security is better, but I think in this situation it wouldn't
Odo
apply
talk
as
somebody
much as
into buying
command.
something is how I would think of it.
Right. Yeah, that wouldn't. I don't think he could. I don't think he could. He would be too honest for one. I mean, clearly these are not all.
Are you
natural,
saying cops honest? And all right, yeah.
Well, I think Odo's fairly honest. I'm not saying all cops. All right, so presence and command.
Especially
So
Odo,
presence
Odo.
is 11.
Yeah, so your crit range is now up to whatever your command is.
Yeah. So, and command is 4.
Jeez, that's pretty good.
All right, a 9 and an 18.
All right,
sadly.
well, You want
so
one
I only
success
get one
and-
success. But I do have a focus
and
and
if
fast
the
talk.
problem is you needed like a 4 or a 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to trip that. But
Okay.
that's okay.
Nice.
He heard the word something shrinks, and you know you lost the deal, right? You lost the sale right there. He's very insecure about it. Muscles might not be able to make it happen. I'm gonna quick switch over to Cash Dash, and it's like while you're observing, what's going through your mind, Captain?
I'm trying to I'm trying to see if there's any as Goreth asked already, but which I don't know.
Yes.
I'm interested to see if any of these plants nearby, any of these orchards, are still unaffected by whatever this contamination is, if there even is one, which I don't believe there is. And if there's any way I can, I would like to try and make a deal.
Okay.
With,
Do you want to
somebody.
scan anything, or did you want which were you headed for first? Gather information.
Gather
Information first. Okay. So you can assess the how needed they are for a cure. You're looking around, and if you want to, I think you've got a Ferengi scanner.
Sure.
Mostly it's focused on, assessing the value of things and their structure. So
Which is important.
It's pretty good. It's not going to give you like super detail on living organisms to some degree. It's not going to be as magical, but that's okay. It'll work just fine. I'm just letting you know it's going to be better at things like estimating value and things like that, as opposed to figuring out the carbon cycle, in-depth chemical analysis. But
I definitely would like to run a value estimate on the fruits as well.
Yep. So there's let me see. Is there going to be a nearby shrub? Yeah, there's going to be a shrub hanging out in the garden with some fruit on it, near where you are. If you wanted to wander, I mean everything's only like 10 feet away. It's just across the soundstage.
Right.
So you've got a tree near you. It has some of, I believe, is the star fruit from what you guys saw in the handout or the brochure, right? Let me see
Right.
if I've got this. Yeah, the starfire berries. They're starfire berry bushes. They're kind of dull looking now, but you don't know whether that's normal for them being in the day because it indicated they lit up at night. Was the brochure was all about them getting luminescent at night. But as a foodstuff, it looks fine. They look like they're not bruised. There's no obvious signs of black or mold or whatever you want to call it.
I'd like to pull one off and give it a sniff.
Okay. What's your constitution say? Roll for initiative. No, this is you basically are pulling it off the bush. Again, it doesn't immediately go. It takes a little effort because you get the sense that ripe stuff comes right off. Just a little underripe. It smells like. Let me see. Well, it smells like Captain Crunch cereal. I better write that the hell down because I'll never remember it. But it does smell like Captain Crunch. It's kind of a sweet, sharp smell, and the skin is pretty much like a grape. It's not quite it's not quite like you have a plum or something, but it's pretty close. This smells like Captain Crunch. And again, there's no blemishes. It's fairly solid. You're not detecting any visible signs of rot or anything. I mean, that's without using a tricorder. You're just using the old
sniffer.
All
right, I'm gonna go butt into the conversation between Zarin and Dravok.
Okay. So Dravok, what is your Alden's like pulling out of the deal, and so what we'll do is have Cash come in while you're trying to rescue the sale. How are you gonna do to get me back?
Okay. Noit, get over here. So look Noit has been using these as well, and as you see, his muscles are very big, and for him, nothing changed.
I just hold on. I
So,
gotta roll some dice on this.
I think
I
you
gotta
should
roll some
just,
dice because suddenly you're just parading beefcake everywhere. Yeah, he rolled a 1, so
like, I think that I probably
he
picked up on it.
yeah.
Oh, excellent.
He actually, starts taking his measure of Noit. He says, "Are you sure he's? Are you sure he's all right? In his eyes have just a weird look about them. Is that? I don't think that's true for all Orions."
Well, he's a very special Orion. He's very interesting. He is kind of weird for an Orion because he's interested in sciencey things. He wants to explore, and he's interested in artifacts. And when he says artifacts, Noit goes, yes. Do you have any archaeological ruins on this planet that I could peruse?
Well, I think that we could arrange something like that. We have.
All right, pardon me, fellas. The captain coming through. Mr. Zarin, was it?
Yes. Hello. How are you? And he does the two-hander. He does the two-hander shaking hands thing.
Oh yeah, I keep one hand away because I got a fruit in it.
Yeah, he does note that. And he said he notes it, and you get the sense that in the back of his mind that there's an upcharge that just happened.
Ding.
It's like, okay, that's an extra 3 slips.
Now, Mr. Zarin,
Yes.
First of all, you got a lovely place here.
Oh, we're very proud of it. It's wonderful.
I can't help but notice your crops here seem to be untainted by the blight that, so we've heard, is plaguing your planet.
Well, the blight is it's a very odd blight, and the scientists.
Sure. So what I'm offering you here is, you see, we've got a ship here, and I hate to admit it, but our cargo hold is a little on the light side at this moment.
Oh well,
now,
that's terrible. He's actually a bit confused about you bringing cargo and shipping. He's a little not sure what's going on here.
Now, what would you say excuse me, I only got to peruse the brochure for a moment, but what would you say a Starfire berry goes for on the open market?
Oh, I would say it would be maybe 12. Are we talking retail or wholesale?
Oh, we're talking wholesale. Okay. I don't work retail prices.
Oh, we have wholesale. In wholesale, I would say it would be approximately, seven Carnassian dinars to the kilogram.
Oh, of course. I'm taking notes.
Okay, so am I, because we better. Yeah, somebody already take notes.
And
but that's
look,
if they come off world, and there's some places that there's it's a biological, so there's many permits that increase the cost of shipment.
Listen, imagine we didn't have to pay any of those. Imagine we didn't have to go through all that sort of red tape.
Okay.
Just imagine, for argument's sake.
Oh, well, we need to talk to someone in the orchards, because I'm but a humble, purveyor of bedtimes and apparently reconstituted meals. And you can tell he's pissed about the reconstituted meal thing, because the MREs that you're going to be given here in a little bit. So, yes, well, I think I could put you in touch with someone who might be possibly interested in selling. We also have.
And of course, you'd be paid a finder's fee.
Oh, I would. I appreciate your understanding of this entire situation, and also I would like you to know that we do also have a variety. The berries themselves are processed into various nectars and beverages, which are quite exquisite. And we even have a flight of them. When we have the afternoon meal, we can give you a flight of them to test.
That does sound delightful, but I'm more interested in the raw than the materials.
Oh, all right. They're a bit bulky, and I understand. That's okay.
We got nothing but room.
Yes. So we have
Now, if we were to talk to somebody at the orchard, just a name, anybody
let me
come to spring to mind.
Why do I have? Well, let me scroll down through my pad here, because we have 2 people that visit you. Let's go with. You'll want to talk. Oh, I don't want to use someone with the exact same freaking name as one of your characters. It turns out. I think it's funny. I came up with names from. Let me double check. Yeah, the it's Laria, Laria.
Mm-hmm.
And she's one of our agronomists, and yes, she's not a scientist the same way like the ones that are supposed to be battling the plague that have not yet returned from their expedition to find its source.
That's surely a bother, but I think we can get out ahead of this thing.
Ahead of what thing?
Well, ahead of the plague.
Well, I mean, part of it is that the thing that's odd about it is it's virtually undetectable until it manifests.
Well, virtually or?
Well, I'm no scientist. I just know that things happen in the orchard sometimes that cause local wildlife to have problems.
Mm-hmm.
Did you eat the fruit by any chance?
No, I just sniffed it.
All right.
I sniffed it. I squished it a little bit. I might have some juice on my fingers. I think I gave it a little squish.
You gave it a little squeeze. I don't think any juice came out. I mean, if you didn't squeeze it to pulp it, I think.
No,
or
take it.
You were just melon testing, like you do in the market. Yeah. You don't have any juice on your fingers, and it's slick. There's no oil. There's no secretion or anything to your hands. But yes, I do think that Lara, and I'm working on finding my frickin' accent for me. I think Lara will be the person to talk to.
Well, yeah, that's exactly who I was planning to go speak with. So you fellas get back to your conversation here. I'm gonna go speak with our chief medical officer.
Okay. Well, and I'm a bit worried about this Noit character, and also now he's. By the way, guys, his brain is now preoccupied with the potential for a deal, but he's also confused about how this is going to work. So he's
and Dravok is going to attempt a different.
How much of this weirdness am I picking up on? Because I don't think I've heard anything. I mean, no. I know there's weirdness about the planet, but I haven't heard anything about like.
No, you have. Alden was very amiable about the business transaction. I mean, that was the
I think that's all I'm.
Yeah, that was the smoothest you'd ever dealt with, and but you did sense he was a little light on the details, and did grope to find the name of the person who could possibly make a deal. Mm-hmm. And then,
well, he's a little dense.
Yeah, if you want any, if you want to kind of do any deeper questioning insights, if you want to throw out a dice roll for that, to see if your suspicions are piqued.
I think I'm pretty focused on the deal.
Okay.
And if nothing throw up warning flags there, I'm not digging any deeper.
No, he was trying to upsell you the wine. He was trying to get you to move the wine instead of the berries.
I'm worried about the berries are going to get infected first, so we got to get the berries off the planet. I'm gonna I'm gonna skirt sort of under these bar mitts
Okay.
he's speaking about, and
Okay.
get a bushel full of these.
If I could load this thing up before the plague hits.
That's the plan.
Okay. I love the idea that you're gonna have a big truck. They're all gonna look like the Cybertruck. They're all gonna look like the Tesla Cybertruck.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So what are you making a play for Alden here? Because Alden's a bit confused still about.
Yeah. So Dravok says, so Alden, I can call you Alden, right? Not Mr.
Alden was
Baron.
Alden would be
that
fine.
fine?
I think we'll go with Crichton.
All right. Well, Alden, I can't help but notice your friend, was it Bryce? He's kind of wandering off. He's getting a little bit, I don't know, chummy with some of our crew. One crew member I seem to notice. So I'm a little bit concerned that maybe you should take a free sample and to see what you
Let me see. I'm gonna throw some dice. He's good. Let's see. I'm gonna do this to see how many hit points you've inflicted on. How many hit points of doubt have you inflicted? Okay. He for a minute he hesitates, and then he kind of comes to himself and says, "Oh no! This is it's very appropriate that Bryce has a discussion with. Well, your Goreth is there for your you've all had Goreth helping you through this visit. Yes, if I remember, aren't you here with Goreth?"
Yeah, he's the tour guide.
Yes,
that's
going
right.
to
But he's also he's very talented, artistic, musical. He has certain features that could be construed as attractive.
Throw some dice. Let me see. This would be
I'm not saying buy anything right now. I mean, Noit has free samples he carries
this is trying
around.
to get him to take the sample.
You could just try a couple.
If you want to get him to take the sample, 'cause
Yeah.
he already feels it's going to have a negative health impact. So I'm guessing you're trying to get him to take a thing that he is averse to taking, if that makes sense. Because you're planting the doubts.
Yeah.
I see exactly where you're headed.
Or you could also, if you wanted to maybe do a little eye candy or something, you could give the sample to your friend.
You mean to drug my partner?
Well, no, you could tell him, hey, this is an enhancement. It's something, it's like buying an extender or something
So
like
what would
that.
it do to a pejorative?
I don't know. Probably nothing. I mean, really probably nothing. I mean, Noit, it didn't affect anything except made him more muscly and sort of emphasized his interest in archaeological objects.
I don't know if that's all it did. And he definitely looks at Noit's. He senses something is very off about Noit in terms of his. Got to move. I actually have to move something over. I get the sense that he senses something is very off about Noit. He keeps looking in his eyes. That there's an issue there. So there's something that's definitely got him suspicious or concerned about Noit.
It's a little spooked.
But he says, "But I will take this under advisement," and holds out his hand for the vial or whatever. I don't know if you guys keep it as a pack of gum.
All right. So,
Or a ready to go hypo spray.
Noit
Is it
gives him a
EpiPen?
little. I haven't really thought.
I think it was a protein shake at one point.
So I guess, yeah. I think it'll be a powdery mix, and so Noit hands him this bag of powder, and then Dravok goes, just if you put it in your favorite drink, stir it around. It's like a liquid IV kind of. Just stir it in there and you get all energized, and then you go pick up something heavy and lift it a few times, and there you have it. Then your muscles get big.
And he examines the packet. Do you have any markings on it? Is it have your trademark? Is it just a plain back.
It's just got a picture of a picture of a generic humanoid with his arms up, like
Well, why is he surrendering?
No, he's pumped up.
It's a failure of
flex-
iconography.
He's flexing his muscles.
Oh,
Flexing.
well, I'll see what happens, but maybe. And he thinks about surrender and Bryce and looks at the packet, and he puts it into his little inner jacket pocket. And says, well, I'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, I'm going to go and prepare lunch for everyone with what little supplies we have, because as you know, a plague is infecting all of our things, our food. So we only have a little bit of rations left. And there are the other guests I should take care of as well. And so he's gonna go back into the B&B. So, Cash, what are you doing with Lyra?
I walk up to Lyra with the star fireberry, hand it over and say, Lyra, would you mind, you can head on back to the ship if that would make your job easier, but just do as thorough an investigation of this as you can. Make sure there's no contaminants or anything of the sort that would cause the, I lean in close and go, plague.
Yeah, they seem to be selling this plague thing pretty hard.
They won't shut up about it. I understand it might be a big deal here, but it doesn't really seem like it's affecting anything that much.
Isn't there a Ferengi rule about that? One of your rules about selling things that aren't really there?
Oh, probably.
Probably.
I of course know them all offhand, but
so I did have a thought though about this. We might be able to make some cash. If they're claiming that there's possible sources that are unable to leave the planet, would make the unaffected fruits much more valuable, right?
that's the plan, Lyra.
So if we can prove that what we have is unaffected, and then they're still selling up this whole plague thing, I think that we could stand to make a pretty healthy profit off of things. So I'll take this back to the ship and see what I can come up with.
All right, don't miss lunch though.
Right. Well, someone just calm me and I'll.
Oh, I will let you know that there's not a lot good going on the ship. In terms of like the place was stripped bare. Like you guys still don't really. The med bay is super primitive. Mm-hmm. So your hand scanner might be as good as it gets, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
I don't get bogged down.
To shove you that way, but your hand scanner is probably that might be as good as it gets, which is kind of sad.
Yeah. Okay. So I said, well, too bad we don't have any better equipment on the ship. I think this hand scanner here is going to be our best shot.
All right.
So why don't I just take this back room and give it a look?
Totally unbothered.
Hopefully do something about that soon.
Okay, so did you want to did you just give it a good scan right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's give it a good guess. Yeah, let's science it.
We're gonna science the shit out of it. That's basically just a science and control roll. I actually had this written down at one point, what you guys would be rolling, but I'm not too concerned.
All right. 14 is what I need. And I got a 1 and an 8.
Woohoo! You are scanning, and you do not actually. You don't find anything biological. That's 3 successes, if I'm not mistaken. You only needed 1 to run the scan. The scan reveals no trace of a viral or bacterial infection that would be sad for inimical to humanoid life. Nothing that would affect anybody. You are, however, picking up like signs of It's some. It's a waste byproduct. I gotta look up what I'm trying to find here. I have to look something up here. Let me see. Okay, what I'm looking at is there's some kind of an inorganic compound in there. It's just super trace amounts.
Ah.
And just a second, I gotta look up what it is. Okay. This would be Brellium, which is Brellium, and it is it's not super toxic in low quantities, but it's something that shouldn't be there.
So is this something that it's on the outside? Is this something that's on the inside?
It's within the flesh of the fruit.
It's within the flesh. Okay. But can I tell if it's been applied and then was seeping into the fruit, or is there anything, like I can separate it somehow?
I'd like to take an extra point of momentum from you for that. Is that okay? That's a more in-depth question. So, the mode of introduction, it looks like it is as if it came in through the water. It came in as part of the fruit's intake of the plant's intake of nutrients.
Okay. All right. So, what I want to do is I'm going to make sure I save this scan,
Yes.
and I'm going to scan it in a couple hours, and I want to see if there's a difference.
You mean to see if it's going up or down or breaking down or?
Yeah, I would see if there's any changes since it's not connected to the plant now.
Also, do you want to investigate the plant itself, or are you good?
Yeah. So if he can show me where the plant is,
You gonna clue him in on what you found?
Yeah. So it seems like we have beryllium. There's some kind of beryllium that seems to be introduced to the fruit through nutrients. So it could possibly be from the water supply. It could be from the earth itself, the soil. It could be from something that was applied to the soil and then soaked down into the water supply. So there's lots of possibilities, I think.
You think it's going to affect the taste?
Yeah, I think it'll affect the taste.
I'm sorry. Everybody gets a point for that one. That was like, where's the staying in character? Like, because yes. Okay, yeah, that there's a free momentum for the group for that one. Sadly.
But the thing is, we don't know what they're supposed to taste like. So you know what I mean? It's
all in the marketing.
Yeah, and it's all in the eye of the beholder as well. So.
All right. Well, I think that's a wise idea to see if it might degrade over time. I kind of want to get Dravok and Noit to eat one. But
what about Cardassian number 7?
well, he's on the ship.
Yeah, well, we could take the ship.
Look at those fellas. You think anything's getting? Look at how much mass they got. I imagine they're over there just flexing at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what I also want to do is I want to do a little research on beryllium and see what that effect that has on different species. I think that'd be
Yeah,
wise look.
let me see the bits that you can deduce from of the tricorder is it does have. All right, yeah, we're just gonna hand it over to you. Okay, so I put that in the chat.
There it is. Psychoactive. And is this toxicity a general thing, or is it something that is more inclined to affect different races?
It will vary by species.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
So that was to have chat F you all over.
All right. So, I'll tell Cash Dash, this is what I found. It's a slightly toxic, but at a very low dose. It could have possible psychoactive effects.
Well, that seems like a win-win.
Yeah, well, yeah. Of course, the Federation would say, the levels are completely unacceptable, but and possibility of diarrhea. So,
as with all good things.
Yeah, it varies by species. So, I think as far as the grand scheme, it's not huge. It's not terrible.
But say if you were to
plague, I don't know if I would put plague to this.
But if for example, a whole bunch of these fruits were say distilled down into a liqueur or something of that.
Yeah.
Of that ilk, perhaps the beryllium levels there would be.
But
interesting.
Maybe the distilling process might even take the beryllium out. So who's to say? I think it's
Zarin
do some
over there was trying to push the distillate on me over the berries.
Yeah, that's true.
Some keep in mind.
Okay.
All right. Well, who's hungry?
Okay, so let me see. So Bryce, what are you doing with Goreth? Because Goreth and you are headed back, as far as I know. Dvorak, you are once again in a conversation with yourself.
Yeah,
I'm in a and kind of report back with Cash Dash, actually.
Oh, okay. Are you going to send Bryce on ahead to shoot him out of here?
Well, Bryce left, right?
Bryce is returning with you from the woods. But yeah, he can hang around if you want to continue to engage him, or you can have him make an excuse to just fuck off and go back into the building.
Oh yeah, he can totally fuck off. So
okay, I got him out of there then.
Yeah, in a nice way. So I have organized we have an organized visit to one of the food plants, which I think you might be interested in. We can perhaps get more information on the processing and maybe there might be some distilling process. I'm not sure. So we are going to have after lunch, we're going to have a tour of this facility. You might be.
I might want us to have us make a detour to the orchards along the way, but all of this sounds enlightening.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So that is the plan.
Maybe my steroids could give us leverage if it helps with this plague thing too.
Maybe, Dravok.
We could mix a little in, at this distillate and see if something happens positive,
Yeah.
Then we can sell it for a profit.
Could be.
It could be. Okay. Let me see. As you guys are there, I'm assuming you're coming along.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm ready for
I'm
lunch.
gonna pop in and open up a new slide because hey, that's how this works. And courtesy of Cookie Trek. Alden and Bryce are there. Also, if I've got the people, one other person should be here, who you have not met yet. If I can grab them. Or maybe I don't. Let me see. Sorry, give me a second to find the Nipsey here. Okay, and you can tell because I've spent so much time making sure she has a name that should be important. Okay, so there's a human here named Fiona Drax, and yeah, she's good. You guys are all. I'm just going to move you all into the space. Okay. And you will find that, yeah, in addition to Alton and Bryce, there's another guest, and Bryce is gonna take care of the introduction since Alden is cooking. Bryce is going to introduce you all around and say, "Oh, and this is Miss Fiona Drax of the Luna Draxes." And she looks kind of like Luna Lovegood. So she has seriously got a hippie vibe about her. And has a pad with her that she kind of keeps, writing notes in and things like that. She has a colorful floral scarf. She's got the big, caftan going on. And she's very, she's just very inquisitive. She's like, let me see. Should I do a voice with her? Let's not do that. That would be silly. But she just says, well, yeah, she could be Russian. So, how do you do? And
does the Luna Draxes mean anything to
let
me?
me see. It could. What do you want it to mean to you? Since
I'm curious to know if that's a rich
why
family.
don't you go ahead?
It's got that sort
mentioned
of
her,
ring
you called
to
it out specifically. I feel that each
Right.
one of you should ascribe a characteristic to the Draxes. Each one of you gets to pick one thing, and we'll make that what there'll be three things that the family's known for now.
Obnoxiously
Okay.
rich.
Okay, Cam.
No, that doesn't have to
Oh well,
count.
it's up.
Noit
I can pick
Noit
it.
recognizes that they've had some dealings with the Orion Syndicate,
So they got.
and they are well connected with some of the more powerful families on the Orion circuit.
So is that underworld ties?
Yeah, some underworld ties.
I wonder if that works both ways. If she's going to recognize Noit now.
Possibly.
And yep.
I'm going to say
He is my handler with Orion type things. So.
Okay, and Paul.
I'm I'm going to say they're great contributors to the arts.
Fucking everybody. So they're the Sacklers. What I'm hearing is we've just reinvented the Sacklers. Yes, we're gonna do this. The arts. Okay. And do you want to keep? Well, we can go with rich. Is there any other thing on top of obnoxiously rich you want to throw in, Dave?
I bet you Fiona's a bit flighty.
Oh, I got her set. I was thinking more of the Draxes as the family.
Okay.
Old rich money. They've had it for a long time.
Is that okay, Dave? You look like you're introspective,
Oh, yeah.
so I didn't know if you were.
That's what I was imagining.
So they've got basically old dilithium money from before the days they crystallized everything. That would be my thought. Yeah, so we'll do that. So Fiona is shaking everyone's hand, but she's just sort of like, she is very airy fairy. So I don't know if the whole she doesn't seem to be taking the measure of anyone, other than as if she were looking you over for a murder mystery or something, in her brain.
Mm-hmm.
She's just taking you in as people who are NPCs in her world. So the tables have turned.
Ms. Drax, I'm absolutely trying to make your acquaintance. What brings you to this lovely planet?
Whoops! Oh shit! Wrong voice. I was thinking maybe we had these fruits. They are very rich and wonderful. And now there's this plague that we should get. I must get to bottom of. I must figure out this plague, because then it could be very lucrative.
It really.
I need to diversify family's portfolio.
You're a woman after my own heart, Miss Drax.
Oh yes, but we all know the
Speaking of
Ferengi heart is only room enough in it for 3 bars of Latinum.
Oh, I think that's a little on the low side.
Indeed, she's very smitten.
Rick,
Speaking of your family's portfolio, there are rumors that you had some dealings with the Altiplanian.
Kicking Dravok under the table. Or Noit, whoever's
right.
talking.
Throwing shit.
Noit kicking Noit. But my little legs can't reach.
Sorry, you were saying what were you trying to keep? You're trying to tie this to the Orions?
I was going to ask about an architectural expedition that her family had funded to Altiplania.
Do I actually know that?
No, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm on a fishing expedition. Noit's fishing for archaeological information.
Noit
so.
is. Okay.
Yeah, this is Noit. It wasn't this voice.
Okay, yeah.
It was.
I
That's my more sneaky voice.
I have to be careful of all
Noit
the voices
has a
in my head
sneaky voice.
colliding with all the voices outside of it. Okay, so we got. So Noit is very happy to, or she kind of looks at you a little askance about this. Well, you seemed very well informed for a man who looks to have the hands of a cargo handler. She sees you in different coveralls too, which is weird.
But even Orion cargo handlers do have some dealings with various factions, shall we say?
Jeez, I need to look.
But I'm more interested in archaeological digs, and I know that the Luna Drax family has funded various studies.
Yeah, I wish my computer had funded actually working right now. Control, daring, insight, present, reason. Holy crap! I didn't realize Noit had a reason like that. Shit. Yeah, I forgot. I didn't realize Noit was smart. Sorry about that.
Yeah, his focuses are like Orion politics and.
Okay.
archaeology,
He has the
ancient tech.
absolute worst charisma of all the players.
Yes.
He is an
Oh,
absolute
yeah.
moron.
He's
an
definitely
absolute
not
social
a
klutz.
charismatic.
Okay, so yeah, you're
Yep.
just definitely going to be like all over about this thing with no subtlety. Yeah, she's gonna. Like, well, that was my brother's doing. I do not know as much about those things. I am more interested in other forms of philanthropy, like curing plagues and things.
Yes. Yes. And this plague is rather disturbing.
Yes, this is good. Is interesting mystery. And yep.
So, Lyra will speak up and say, "Yeah, I'm really interested in this plague as well. I did some preliminary investigation into it. I'm curious. Have you found any concrete evidence as to how the beryllium enters into the fruits?"
Fiona like is intrigued and actually jots that down in her notepad and is very interested. No, that is very interesting. Yes, maybe there is something else, something we can find. I'm hoping that after lunch we can go to the factory and see how things are put into cans. And Bryce is there, and
Mr. Yan, I'm so sorry to trouble you, but I am positively parched. Could I trouble you for a glass of water?
And he goes around the table and actually just fills all the glasses up. You guys have the place settings and the napkins ready to go. He should have done that. He's also going to produce a bottle of the Starfire wine. If I can remember where it is. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of funny. And he does. Are you guys hiding the fruit from him, or are you just carrying it around? Because I think you already were just carrying it around, right?
Yeah, I didn't really make any attempt to hide me plucking it off. I was holding it when I talked to him. Lyra's got it now, so I don't know.
And he does indicate. Well, I hope that you're not planning on eating that because, until they're fully ripened and they've taken on their dose of beta radiation, they just don't taste the same. And when he hears you talking about the beryllium, that he doesn't know what that is. He's got a little bit of a what? What was that? And he kind of I don't know is anybody waving a tricorder around, or is that just stuffed back in a pocket?
Lyra can pull out her tricorder and kind of show him the scan.
Are you going to show Fiona? Fiona's extremely interested too, so she shoves Bryce out of the way.
Yeah.
To get to the tricorder and like has her pad and she's like writing in some freaking code that only she seems to know. But she looks over the shoulder and goes, "Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, this is good. It's good that we're eating from foodstuffs so that we do not get infected by plague. This is plague, yes?"
I wouldn't classify it as plague, personally. But
I'm going to spill my whole glass of water on myself.
Okay.
Oh, tarnation. My goodness. I'm so sorry. Clumsy me. Lyra, I'm going to take off my, sopping, whatever sort of, outer garment I can and hand it to Lyra and say, "Lyra, I really hate to trouble you like this, but would you mind taking this back to the ship and getting the water out of it?"
What do you think I am? You're a laundress?
I love it, but it's even worse. You're going to really have to lean into this, aren't you?
No. You're just your quarters are furthest down on the ship, and maybe you'd be the most efficient to get the water out of it.
Right, the water. Get the water out of it.
Thank you, Lyra. My goodness, yeah, Yarn, I'm Mr. Yarn. I'm so sorry. I made an absolute mess here.
Oh no, this is okay. Don't worry. And he scuttles off to grab like a very absorbent towel because they finally have this in the 24th century. They have good absorbent towels. No microfiber.
No more
More
microfiber.
microfiber. This stuff's gonna hold up. And while he's getting the towel, you can kind of hear him. Alden's bringing out like a tray of food, right? And as he's bringing it out, Bryce passes him and just glances cursorily at the tray, and then goes, out through the double doors into the kitchen as Alden puts this tray of food down. And it's basically like somebody really tried to get Spam to look presentable. It's like Julia Child really went, or somebody who went to culinary school and wants you to know they went to culinary school really badly, and that this is not their fault, kind of a situation where they're dealing with this packaged food, and it's potted meat with various other pastes and powders and hard bread or whatever it would be. So yeah, you have like a cracker kind of thing, you have biscotti kind of things, you've got food cubes, you've got pastes, and he's trying to do a plating of it that looks good. But next to it, there's like star fruit, or this not star fruit, it's whatever this starfire berries.
Starfire berries.
There's like very, very amazingly intricately sliced starfire berries that are, done in like little doves and little, all of that beautiful, fussy, slicing and spreading that he could possibly do.
Culinary
Yes,
artistry.
He definitely had that next to this plate of, again, Technicolor colored food that looks like somebody just had way too much food dye in their hands, like Klingon eggs and things like that. And as he sets it down, Bryce comes back out and he rushes back out. He does have a towel, but that was not why he came back out to take care of the water. And he says, "Oh, you shouldn't be serving the fruit now. Remember, that's contaminated." And he looks at Alden and says, that's not for people to eat, remember? And he starts trying to put it onto a side dish and get rid of it. But he's not taking care about contamination at all. He's just kind of grabbing stuff off and getting juice on his hands and everything. And Alden just scowled.
Oh no, I think we understood that was just a garnish. And really, truly, the presentation here is just divine, Mr. Zarin. I am knocked out of my socks.
Do you want to make a charisma roll to see if you're genuinely knocked out of your little stripy socks?
Oh yeah, I'm lying out between my pointy little teeth.
So this would be a command and a presence check, which is, I think, your two major things.
Oh yeah.
Plus, I'm sure you have a focus on
that's my jam.
Sucking up and bullshitting.
I got the art of the deal, wheeling and dealing. All right, that's a 3 and a 5.
That's probably 4 altogether, isn't it? Oh yeah, you've
one critical and one
what did your
regular.
Your command's only a 4? Oh damn.
The command's a 4. Yeah.
So yeah, you've got three points there. You just needed 1 to kind of put him at ease and butter him up. So you have 2 extra if you want to manipulate him or the situation. Possibly you could manipulate Bryce and or Alden. Fiona possibly, but I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I'll focus on those two. And I do appreciate you bringing out the what is it, a liqueur that you make out of these berries, or is it a?
Yes, we have. Let me see if I can find this stupid.
The lunar liqueur.
Yeah, the lunar liqueur. Thank you for actually reading the stuff that I didn't take time to memorize. But yeah, he brings it over. You know, he's Bryce is going to go back, and he's kind of grumbling about the berries, and takes them back, and you can hear them going into the garbage disposal.
Now, Lyra here, cleaning up after my mess, of course, as she always does. But we got a couple folks back on the ship just taking care of things, and I was wondering if you wouldn't be amenable to sending a little sample back with Lyra for those folks not blessed enough to be here with us around this table.
Are you talking about the food or about some wines?
No, just a shot or two of the liqueur. That's he's a bit of a lush, you understand?
Oh, I understand. And he looks back toward Bryce. So there's marital strife going on here that is going to take me some post game time to talk over. So we got the I mean, we don't exactly have a doggy bottle, but
well, no, just take the bottle, take a little glass, and she'll come right back. Now,
is Laura gone, or is she gonna mule everything over as a chemical delivery system? Lara, where did you go? Did you immediately take off, or are you still hanging around?
She didn't immediately take off because she's kind of giving a Cash Dash kind of a side stare with daggers.
Okay. Bryce comes out with the tray. It's got a very ornate little bottle that's kind of shaped like the Eiffel Tower. With a big old heavy bottom on it and a thin little top. It is a dark blue electric colored liquid. And there's little glasses that are barely like half an ounce. You know, it's this little triangle stem things with a little bowl. Very much designed. Probably in another life, you could recognize them as candle holders. Would be my guess. If you were to look at them in an IKEA, you go, "That's a candle holder." So. He's gonna serve them, but he's gonna get 2 more that you can take with you for your crew. Is it 2 that you needed?
Yeah, 2 would be just
2 should be
peachy.
just
and
fine.
not giving. Yeah, I guess he's gonna lean into this. He's just going to put the crystals in her hands. And then in his mind, you can just see like the additional charges for the glassware that he knows is not coming back. You know, this is getting added to the bill. You know, everything you've suggested is just getting like tacked on to the bill in his head. So yeah, Lara, you're now loaded up with a wet top coat, and 2 very tiny but filled to the brim liqueurs.
Right.
Again, smell like crunch berries now.
So I'll look at Cash Dash and say, so is this all for the captain?
I think that's gonna be really you're doing me a huge favor taking care of both of these substances.
So she'll
much obliged.
She'll head back to the ship.
Okay.
She's been dismissed.
I love the idea that what I'm going to do is force I'm going to force some deck saves on you at some point. As you walk through, because these are very full. So do you want to take any care about this, or do you care? I mean, you're aware that they're the importance, I assume. So you probably don't want to.
Yeah. So, I mean, she's definitely going to take care to not spill if she possibly
Okay.
can. If you have a,
Yes.
is it like on a
Oh, hell
tray?
no. They don't. You
So-
haven't paid enough for that tray. It's. you
I
got a
see. I
coat.
see.
I don't know how you're carrying a coat and 2 glasses. So.
Wet.
Well, I wrapped the cook underneath my shoes and step in all the mud that I
You put
can.
what in your? Where is it? Oh, you put the coat.
No,
Okay.
never.
Just drag it on the ground behind you.
Yeah, I'll just put it under one arm and
Okay.
carry the 2
All right.
Greek
So it's like
drinks
this
and-
kind of a thing going on. I just need a
Well,
demonstrate.
but it's just wrapped
Oh,
over
okay.
my
All
arm.
right, so it's over your arm with the 2
And
things.
then
Okay, so
Yeah.
I will need a control and probably medicine because you've had to juggle urine samples in your time.
All right. Yeah, sure.
And what I'm going to do is
All
I'm
right.
going to make the complication range 18, 19, and 20.
What does
It
that
means
mean?
if you roll one of those, I get to
roll those.
hose you over a little extra.
You can turn me over. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Well, I got to beat a 15.
So you got to go below a 15. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to go under 15.
Yeah. I got it. Oh shoot! I got a 10 and a 9.
And a 19. Yes. I'm waiting
And a
for
nine.
the time when I have a complication range that actually matches the success, the minimum success, so that it's either you succeed or it just goes horribly wrong.
Are you?
So you do have a complication. I don't know who's in. Who do you, Paul? Who do you hate the most? Which of the players do you dislike the most?
Right now?
Because what we're going to do is they're going to pick the complication that happens while you're trying to balance these 3 things. And I will say that
Okay.
you probably will lose half the sample. No matter what. I mean, the sample won't be totally obliterated, but you'll lose a chunk of it and it'll be embarrassing and stupid. So you pick Cameron or Dave to describe what happens to you with your critical failure.
All right, Dave, tell me.
Yeah, I think Lyra does. The top coat kind of spills out from under her arm, and she steps on it in the mud, and then trips forward and spills one of the shot glasses.
All while complaining about, well, I'll get my coat.
Yeah. Rebel. Son of a.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think
So,
Yeah.
regardless.
yeah, so that kind of sucked. What I'm going to do is, I hate to say it, I'm going to put a pin in that because we're at time. Yeah, I like that. That's our big cliffhanger is, oh no, and I drop a glass of wine.
Whoa!
And I love the idea that we should do a big social thing where there's a social faux pas of picking up the wrong fork, and that just ruins the entire encounter. It's like you've just been smoked by Tiamat, just showed up and just wrecked you. That's my thought. But that leaves us off. Thank you for that. We're gonna leave it at this horrified glass in the mud thing. Oh no! And you'll be next week. Next visit, you'll hopefully be able to take a sack lunch with you and go stop it and see some stuff. But for now, that's this adventure. But we have other things in store on Architects of Fate. Let me see if I can actually find my frickin' outro that I wrote. Hey, on Tuesday, we do have Conan at 7 p.m. Eastern. All times are Eastern because that's just how we roll. Conan Adventures in an Age of Dreamed of had a great fall, and somehow they're going in season 3, episode 32. So I don't know how they're outstripping shows that started before them, but they are. After attempting a perilous climb and falling due to divine/chat intervention, Verdi and the party dust themselves off and prepare to take the long way around the mountain to get to the top of the waterfall. And remember, you shouldn't go chasing waterfalls. You should just stick to the rivers and streams that you're used to. But they're not going to do that. On Wednesday at 8 p.m., Call of the Netherdeep, episode 19, Baltor's Banditos LLC. Professional health inspectors. The Banditos have just arrived at Ankhartel and decided to treat themselves to some much-needed R&R. But the Banditos banditoed and have stumbled into a bakery that is almost certainly not going to help pass any health inspection. Will they report Old Man Kurrick to the proper authorities, or will they just handle it their way? I wonder. And then Thursday on the 11th, there is no show because the cast of Rifts has finally cracked the whip and they're preparing for their broadcast. On Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have another adventure in Cookie Trek. What kind of a story would you come up with about an alien civilization that nearly destroyed itself? Would annoying kids save the day, or would you just administer neuroleptic shocks until they became a little less annoying? Well, why don't you come and share that story idea with Simon T. Cat and Rufus T. Robot this Friday on Cookie Trek, where they will tell the story and the child shall lead them into disaster. And then Sunday, the 14th at 9 p.m., we have Tomb of Annihilation. Dave, do you have any opinions about Tomb of Annihilation? What might happen? What can the folks look forward to?
So very many. The folks can look forward to one more tomb on this level of the tomb. I know, there's a lot of tombs going on. There's 9 tombs in this one tomb, 10 if you include the false tomb.
What?
You already saw it.
Oh, God, yes.
But the party is about to clear out the finish off the first 3 levels and descend even deeper into madness. Traps abound, encounters that they will punish due to my terrible initiative rolls. Come and join the fun as Mr. Goliath Man continues to jump the shark.
OP the living, or OPify an entire dungeon that would make Tiamat blush, essentially. And then finally, Monday, we have the other show, Star Trek Bajor Rising, Trial by Starlight. While on a relief mission to a Bajoran refugee colony, a small flight of shuttles from the USS Odyssey has picked up a distress call from the civilian freighter SS Talisman. These armed Cardassian fighters are attacking it. Now, Commander Thorne has ordered 5 shuttles to break off and attempt to rescue, but no one may have mentioned to her that their shuttles are unarmed. Or maybe she actually knows that, and she's ordered the team to go in anyway. Either way, the team is going to have to come up with something because they intercept those Cardassians in about 5 minutes. So what I wanted to do was say thanks, everybody. I'm going to launch us a raid over to... this is apparently TV Dead Dave, which is a different Dave than you are.
Another
yeah, I know.
day.
This is kind of interesting. So I'm going to start the raid because we apparently can. So go spam, say hi in the chat, and hopefully see you again really soon. There we go. Look at that. Woo! I think we're off. Oh, good. I'm going to stop streaming because I've not done that once.